Notice to the public. If you wish to address the council, please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individuals or staff-related matters. All electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. Thank you. I would like to call the Community Development and Planning Committee to order. We'll have invocation and pledge of allegiance by myself. Heavenly Father, we come to you before you with grateful hearts for the opportunity to serve the people of Terrebonne Parish. Grant this council wisdom rooted in faith, courage to pursue innovative ideas, and humility to listen to one another. Guide our discussions with respect and unity so that every decision we make reflects your will and benefits all who call this parish home. Bless our work, our community, and our hearts as you help us to strive together to build a stronger, brighter Terrebonne Parish. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Miss Charlie, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin,
Here.
Mr. Claire, Mr. Pledger, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity, Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner. Madam Chairwoman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so the first motion to rescind the condemnation order adopted on July 23rd, 2024 on the residential structure located at 8608 Park Avenue, Houma, Louisiana, owned by Ricky J. Whipple and Dominique A. Bombland. Moved by Mr. Trosclair. Who second? Second by Mr. Harding. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. Nine yeas, motion passes. 2, a motion to amend the condemnation order adopted on April 29th, 2025 on the 8 residential structures located at 6408, 6410, 6414, 6416, 6420, 6422, 6424, and 6426 Alma Street, owned by Damon J. Bowden, by extending the deadline to repair, demolish, and/or remove from October 29th, 2025 to December 29th, 2025. Oh.
So
Mr.
actually,
Champagne?
yeah, so I actually put this on the agenda. Mr. Baudon no longer owns those properties. He sold it and the new tenants have started renovating those properties. So they just need a little more time.
Moved by Mr. Champagne, second by Mr. Babin. Seeing no more lights, vote your machines. 9 yeas, motion passes. Number 3, a motion to amend the condemnation order adopted on July 15th, 2025 on the residential and accessory structures located at 150 Gornet Street, owned by Mandy Renee Briggs Pellegrin, by extending the deadline to repair, demolish, and/or remove from October 14th, 2025 to December 29th, 2025. Moved by Mr. Babin. Second by Mr. Champagne. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. 9 yeas, motion passes. 4, resolution authorizing the parish president to sign and submit a program income disposition application to the Louisiana Office of Community Development Disaster Recovery. Moved by Mr. Babin. Second by Mr. Amade. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. 9 yeas. Passes. Number 5, calling a condemnation hearing. Hold up, let me see something. 1 second. Okay. Calling a condemnation hearing on the residential structure located at 1170 Barrow Street, Houma, Louisiana, And I guess I can go through all of them. Yeah, okay. So, 1170 Barrel Street, Homa, and calling a condemnation hearing on residential structure location, 1302 Daspit Street, Homa. Calling the condemnation hearing on the residential structure located at 217 Jean Ellen Avenue. Condemnation hearing on residential structure located at 105 Avett Street in Dulac. Residential structure located at 430 Fieldcrest Drive, Thibodaux. Residential structure foundation, carport, and debris location at 7711 Highway 56 in Chauvin. Residential structure located at 5639 Bayourside Drive in Chauvin. Residential structure located at 202 Chauvin Street in Chauvin. Residential mobile home located at 142 Marjorie Street in Dulac. Residential structure located at 101 Charlotte Street in Gray. Residential structure located at 503 Hazel Boykin Street in Homa. Residential and accessory structure located at 5426 West Main Street in Homa. Residential structure located at 1209 Wallace Street in Homa. Residential mobile home located at 151 Millennium Avenue, Homa. Residential structure located at 4808 North Bayou Black Drive in Gibson. Residential structure located at 185 Peachtree Street in Homa. Residential structure located at 116 Spencer Road, Homa. Residential and accessory structure located at 317 East Woodlawn Ranch Road in Homa. Residential mobile home located at 176 Crochettville Road, Montague. Residential structure located at 122 Samuel Street in Homa. 2 residential accessory structures located at 137 Peachtree Street in Homa. Residential structure located at 529 Mormon Street in Homa. Residential mobile home located at 804 Aragon Road, Montague. Residential structure located at 4760 Highway 56 in Chauvin. Residential accessory structure located at 4867 Bayourside Drive in Chauvin. Residential mobile home located at 4721 Highway 56 in Chauvin. Residential mobile home located at 105 Cypern Drive in Terrebonne. Residential and accessory structure located at 625 Pecan Street in Homa. 18 residential structure located at 1824 Himalaya Avenue, Thibodaux. Residential structure located at 7449 Main Street in Homa. Residential structure located at 128 Columbus Street in Homa. Residential structure located at 8901 Main Street, Homa. Residential mobile home located at 237 Peter Street, Homa. Residential structure located at 207 Chauvin Street in Chauvin. Residential mobile home located at 103 Ashland Drive, Homa. Residential structure located at 4784 North Bayou Black Drive in Gibson. Residential structure located at 601 Marier Street in Chauvin. Residential structure located at 1114 Daspit Street in Homa. And residential mobile home located at 385 Cleveland Street in Homa, Louisiana for Tuesday, October 28th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Moved by Mr. Champagne, second by Mr. Amade. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. Motion's passed. Resolution authorizing the parish president to enter into a memorandum of understanding with GOSEP for the Hurricane Francine Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. Moved by Mr. Babin. Second by Mr. Champagne. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. 9 yeas, motion passes. Authorizing the parish president to enter into task order 6 with Baroka and Bonara Engineers and Consultants LLC, BBEC, for technical assistance and/or application development, project management, and related services for the HMGP Hurricane Francine Grant Program. Moved by Mr. Hamner. Second by Mr. Champagne. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. 9 yeas. Resolution passes. Resolution authorizing the parish president to execute all necessary documents to submit an application to the administration for children and families for the Head Start program in Terrebonne Parish and to execute the 2026-2030 5-year Head Start budget application. Moved by Mr. Bavin. Second by Mr. Hamner. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. 9 yeas, resolution passes. Consider the introduction of an ordinance authorizing the parish president or his designee to execute on behalf of TPCG as intervenor an assignment of non-warranty act of donation from Options for Independence to the South Central Regional Affordable Community Housing Authority, SCRACH, and for the matters relative thereto, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Moved by Mr. Hamner, second by Mr. Amade. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. One abstention and 8 yeas. It passes. Motion to adjourn by Mr. Bavin, second by Mr. Hamner. Seeing no lights, vote your machines, please. And we're adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah, Clayton's under the weather. Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Please, speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individual or staff-related matters. All electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. I'd like to call the meeting of the Public Services Committee of October 13th, 2025 to order. I'll be doing the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Please rise. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening, Lord, and we ask for your wisdom and guidance as we conduct the affairs of the Public Services Committee, Lord. We also lift up all the citizens of Terrebonne Parish, Lord. We ask that your favor and blessings be upon them all. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Charlie, may we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Montclair, Mr. Pledger, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity,
Here.
Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 1, discussion concerning the past and recent allegations regarding Recreation District Number 1 day-to-day operations and management of facilities used by residents of the district and of the parish as a whole, with the parish attorney and Quality of Life Department being invited to participate in said discussion, and possible action to follow, which may include but not be limited to the matter being referred to the Parks and Recreation Subcommittee of the Policy, Procedure, and Legal Committee to review the allegations. Mr. Harding.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to present my format to you. In the beginning, I actually read something here. Do you have any speaker cards, sir?
3, sir.
3, sir? Okay. What I would like to do is just read the statement and listen to the speaker cards. And after we listen to the speaker cards, we can close down the speaker cards. And Ms. Neal, she's going to actually have a review what we had from the previous meeting on the 10th of last month. And we can actually move from there. Yeah. iPad, don't usually use it. So that's the format, if you don't mind, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At the beginning of this agenda item says discussion concerning the past and recent allegations regarding Recreation District Number 1 day-to-day operation and management of the facilities used by residents in the district of of the district and the parish of Terrebonne as a whole. It goes on to say possible actions to follow, which may include, but not be limited to the matters of being referred to the Parks and Recreation Subcommittee of the Policy and Procedure and Legal Committee to review the allegation. Since September 10th, 2025, council meeting, there was some citizens came to me and registered complaints about quality of life football teams and the Recreation One's facilities. Since then, other matters has arose and has to be addressed. Therefore, this agenda item was created not just about football team or a football team practicing on the facilities, but because of the concerns of the great community and others. I spoke with the parish attorney, quality of life director, about the possible changes in the future. I've also addressed the Parish Recreation Advisory Board at its last meeting, and at their next meeting, they're going to actually have some suggestions in reference to the quality of life and these recreation districts. Go on to say this, that the citizens of Gray are actually expressing their feeling of betrayal and being sold out by the Recreation District. That they supported them in their endeavors in reference to maintaining the recreation district and that recreation district opportunity to create a bond and expand themselves with a park they just recently had. So with that actually being said, the people that actually making these complaints feel as if that they've been very, very supportive of this particular recreation district, and that recreation district have put them in a position where they have supported them. And it's not that so much that they have to infringe upon every aspect of this particular recreation district, but they want to actually have an opportunity to freely recreate in a park very near to themselves. And they feel as if that because of the rules and regulations and the policies and procedures within Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government associated with Recreation District 1 and the area of question, which is the gray area, they have some concerns. So they want to address that. It's been since September 8th, I think it is, September 8th, that we actually had these same citizens come before us. It's been over 30 days. They're sitting out there. They're very, very impatient. They're very, very supportive of me. I'm supportive of them. And to this moment, they have no answers to the questions that they brought forth before the council as a whole. Therefore, we want to readdress this and see what actions could be taken from this point on tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. So per his request, we'll go through the speaker cards. I was given to them in no certain order, so we'll start with Ms. Dawn Johnson. Ms. Dawn, if you would come and state your name and address for the record, please. And watch for it to turn green. Yep, you're good to go.
All right. Dawn Johnson, 212 Willowdale Drive in Gray, Louisiana. Thank you for allowing me to speak before you once again. In September, I spoke to you guys asking for some type of resolve in our community between Rec One Board and our community. And as of right now, we don't have that. And we're still waiting to see if Rec One is going to be fair and just to us in the community. And I'm not sure what the holdup or the issues are, but we would definitely like to have this resolved and hopefully in a timely manner, because again, we've been waiting. Actually, we first spoke with Rec One about some issues way back in April. And from April till now, we still don't have a resolve on some of those issues. And those issues being our children being able to play in the community, our practice in the community, and having a working relationship with us to where we can come before the rec board and ask for specific things and be the advocate that they need to be for us. so that, we can have the programs that we need to have in our community. And that's all we're asking for. We just want to be able to have the programs, and we want it to be successful. And we understand that there's rules and regulations, and we're agreeing to follow them. But at least be kind. Be kind to us. And that's one of the things that we're asking for. And you're going to hear more stories about some of the transgressions that's taken place. And I just hope that you all listen attentively and think about as if it was your community and what you would do. Okay? So again, my name is Dawn Johnson, and this is what I have to say, and I hope you all take in great consideration. Okay? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dawn. Next speaker card is Anthony Rainey. Again, Mr. Rainey, please state your name and address for the record.
Anthony Rainey, 3593 Highway 316, Gray, Louisiana. One of one of our main concerns is the closing of the park and the hours of operation. But by y'all bylaws in section 21-1, the park should be open from dusk to dawn. Okay, so we having a problem with them closing the park early and not allowing people to utilize the park as they need to. Also in y'all bylaws, it has a tennis court on the Gray Park and at the Shriver Gym. They're not allowing people to turn the lights on and play tennis. That's another complaint that we have come forward to us to that. And plus, we have a football team that is in Gray, and they are not allowing the kids to practice on the football field because the baseball field is locked. Okay, we don't have keys to it. So everybody keeps asking why. So we want Rec District number 1 to answer why they will not allow the kids to practice on the field and why they will not allow someone, the one that opened the park up, to unlock the baseball field so the kids could practice. Before we had the football field in the back, we practiced on the baseball field for the last 20 years. So we don't see why is it a problem now for us to utilize that field. And we just want some answers. We tired of getting the can get kicked up and down the street. And every time we'll go to that board meeting, they'll tell us one thing in the board meeting, but when we walk out of there, it's a different story. So y'all have the authority over them. So we coming to y'all to utilize y'all authority for them. Another thing we want to know is they keep telling us that they own the field, so they have the right to do what they want to do to it. We taxpayers too. And I know your legal team was supposed to go and see who owns the right to this field and who have to say so. They're not allowing the quality of life to put on their program because they will not allow those kids to practice on that football field. And that isn't fair. And all we want is a quality of life just like everybody else. And we just want some answers. We want a level playing field. That's what we want. Nothing extra, nothing extraordinary. A level playing field. That's what we're asking for tonight, and we just want some answers, and we hope that this y'all legal team or y'all council members can come together and bring us together and get us some answers so we can move forward with our kids in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rainey. The next speaker card is Mr. Clarence Francis. Mr. Francis, when you get to the mic, please state your name and address for the record, please, sir.
My name is Clarence Francis. I live in 617 Linda Ann, Gray, Louisiana. I worked for District 1 for about 4 years almost, and I was dismissed with no reason at all. I think it was made up, just something was made up on me. And the chairman, well, he just disliked me. I was a district manager, at District 1. So I can tell you all a lot of things, but I know I don't have time to tell you all everything. So I'm here to address what Mr. Rainey said. The, the chairman had locks on the gate. The kids had to climb across the barbed wire fence. They wasn't allowed to practice in the field, and locking the bathrooms up. Didn't want them to use the bathroom. The chairman was doing all that. Um, wouldn't had me to turn the lights off. Wouldn't fix the lights. And I addressed about the tennis court. No, there was no lights on the tennis court. Chairman wouldn't get them fixed. Only way you got lights fixed in what you call that, in the back of Gray because of the hurricane. It was a lot of things that could have been done in the Gray Park, but every time the chairman would say, I'm not gonna fix it because they're just gonna break it up. But it broke up a lot in Oakshire Park too, but I had to go fix it. We had a handicap swing. All the parks got handicap swing. Gray didn't get their handicap swing. He said, what use of putting it up? They're gonna break it up. But they was breaking up the handicap swing in Oakshire. I mean, every time I look, I had to go fix the change. The kids were swinging in it, 2 at a time. They were using it for like a swing that you do at your house. So it's a lot of things could have been done in a great park, but it wasn't done because the chairman refused to do it. And I'm a living witness. I worked there 4 years almost. I can tell you all a lot more, but I know I don't have time. But I'm here to address Great Park, have been elected for a lot of things. So it's up to y'all to see to it being done right. That's what I'm here for. And I know I'm telling you the living God truth. So I'm reading your sign back there saying, God we trust. So we trusting y'all to do the right thing. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Ms. Neal, if you'd put your light on, you're next.
Thank you, sir. After the meeting that we had on the 10th of September, last council meeting, I did have the opportunity to meet with some members of the Recreation District Board, some members of the Quality of Life. I met with some of the administration members to run down some of the things that were on the list of complaints that the residents made. For the most part, I think that they were upset mostly that the football field lease was terminated. And I did start with that. And I want to also start with the ownership of the property. So Recreation District 1 is the owner of the property that they service in the district. The parish doesn't own any of that property. There was one piece of property that they leased, which was the football field behind Randolph Park. They terminated that lease. I believe they had some assistance from an attorney at the time to figure out how to do that. They attributed budgetary issues for the lease termination. Ultimately, Recreation District 1 has the control over the facilities that they run. And if they decided to terminate the lease, then the parish doesn't really have any control over whether they can do that or not. At the end of this explanation, I'll have some recommendations, and one of them will be that maybe there's an opportunity to speak with the people who still own the property. I think that's the Gray Improvement Committee. I don't know what's available or who's willing to do what as far as the football field is concerned, but there's an opportunity to continue that conversation. The next thing that I want to talk about was when I met with the Recreation District representatives, I met with some of their board members, and I met with some of their staff. The staff had a lot of documents that they shared with me about the scheduling, about the rules and the regulations. They gave me a copy of the manual that they abide by whenever they work with the Recreation Department, with the Quality of Life Department to schedule recreation. And they were able to point to the regulations in the manual where they follow, and some will say they follow them to a fault, but they follow the regulations that were put in place by the Terrebonne Parish government. There was a scheduling conflict. I attribute the scheduling conflicts to really missed communications. when the Quality of Life has a recreation program, the Quality of Life has to schedule according to the manual that the parish government has adopted. The Quality of Life's job is to schedule those recreation appointments with all of the facilities in the parish. Some lines got crossed and some that, and in an attempt not to go too far into the report, some things were put on the calendar that Recreation District 1 employees didn't become aware of or didn't get a notification of. I think that that can be addressed in the software. I've already reached out to administration, and if Mr. Badgeron wants to give an update on the software for scheduling those recreation events. We saw a flaw in the system where if someone put an event on the calendar, there was not automatic notification. And so I did suggest that they look into automatic notification for everybody when those things get put on those calendars. Let me go through my notes here. I think that some of the grief that the community members expressed could have been avoided if the Quality of Life Department knew that the football field lease was going to be terminated. Their Recreation District 1 is not required to notify the Quality of Life Department that it's going to be terminating a lease for any field that it uses. It would just have been a courtesy, and it could have avoided some of the controversy that we ended up with. Because I believe what happened is that someone in Recreation or in Quality of Life said, hey, I'm okay with you going there, just check with Rec 1. And when they showed up to Rec 1, they found out that the field was, they were terminating the lease on the field. There were some concerns about park availability. And I know Mr. Rainey quoted some things from the code about the closures of the park. So I do want to clarify that the code provides criminal statutes, criminal provisions, so that if someone is in a park after hours, then the police will have the availability to write a summons or write a ticket or arrest someone who's out in the park after hours. There's some exceptions in the code that say if there's a tennis court and there's lighting in the tennis court, then people can be out on that park until 10. If there's, a permitted activity or a government activity that the parish is permitting, then those people can be at the park until 9. But the standard is that the park is open until 7. There's no requirement that the person running the park has to maintain the park open for those hours. It's just a requirement that people have to be off of those park fields and off of those premises after those certain hours. So it's in the criminal statutes. It's not in a requirement that the parks have to maintain the facilities open at that point. I do make a recommendation in my report. I think that there is maybe a budgetary restriction with Recreation District 1 that they don't have someone at the Randolph facility after 4 o'clock and before the close of the park. I think there's an opportunity for the Recreation District to speak with our Quality of Life Department to see if there's a way to get around that, because they don't have anybody on staff. Also, there was some concern that the Recreation District had about insurance and liability. And they expressed to me that during the last administration,
Michelle,
when
put your mic a little better for you.
closer to me.
They're having a hard time hearing you, I think.
Sorry about that. I'm a little soft-spoken. So they did express some concern, I think when all of these park regulations were being implemented and the manual was being written, they did discuss with the risk management department at the time that there could be some liability against the Recreation District if they maintained open baseball fields and whatnot. I think that is also an opportunity for us to visit that, because I think that Recreation District 1 is not the only recreation district that is worried about that liability for open play. I think if we have an opportunity to check in with our insurance or with the district's insurance, check in with, there's some statutory immunity for recreation purposes. That may be an opportunity to maybe loosen some of the reins on those blocked parks, but I think we need to explore that with our insurance. So that's another recommendation that I made in the report that I gave to you. But ultimately, I think it's the recreation district, if they own the property, I think it's that board who has to make the rule on opening, closing the parks, locking the fields. We'll definitely be able to have a conversation with them to see if we can alleviate some of their concerns over liability or maybe assist in having staff on hand. But that's all things that I think it would be beneficial to have a conversation about. I didn't see anything where they violated any policy. I think the communication can be better. And ultimately, that was what my report came up with.
That's it, Ms. Neal?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Harding?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Neal. I don't know if you guys got this. I had to review it, and there's some small things that in one hand would be major, and the other hand. Ms. Neal had mentioned in reference to how do we rectify the problem, because we've actually went over 30 days with the people registering the complaint, and then that complaint had came to us, and we had no way of legally trying to address the issue. When they were here, I think the Recreation District was supposed to have a meeting in September, and I think somewhere around the 3rd or something like that, they had canceled their September meeting, and their next meeting it is probably the last Monday in October. So we're looking at 30 days there and perhaps another 30 days. That's 60 days. I'm looking at the fact that if these kids had to practice or they're in limbo for practicing, that's a total of about 8 weeks. And from what I read in the report, they can have no more than 2 practices per week. The circumstances of the letter of the law, I want to say this to the citizens of Gray, is the fact that sometimes the letter of the law does not bend. And I guess in some cases you have to really realize who's actually enforcing the letter of the law. There are other complaints that was registered and they were not here. And the opportunity that these folk were actually looking for was the next meeting in September to address the issue. I did not personally want this to be brought back to the council, to the public, to be exposed the way it is when we could have handled it for some reason or another. Circumstances was that they canceled their September meeting. But a point I want to make out, Ms. Neal mentioned open parks. Open parks are not only just Recreation District 1, but all the other recreation districts out there, because when I was coming up, we just went out on the baseball field to actually just play baseball. We didn't need any permission. We didn't need no insurance to go out there to play ball on a field in our neighborhood that was supposedly supplied by Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, or in this particular case, someone who received a millage to actually provide a facility for the citizens of this parish or this particular area to actually recreate themselves. The other instance that was involving the sheriff's office is the fact that the circumstances that was mentioned when the August 8th and August 11th and August 13th issue in reference to the cheerleading squad, when the police was called, and then sometime it's only communication. Sometimes cooler, calmer heads should be the prevalent factor in this. And to have those young ladies that are out there, and the police was called, and they were actually within their rights to actually have that. That was another thing that I found out in this particular report, that in reference to, I don't know the circumstances, that's one thing about going to these meetings, it's just like coming to the council meeting, is the fact that even though I think the coach's name is Tory, he had permission um, to practice. And in that practice, he had from 6 to 8, permission from Quality of Life, but it wasn't actually registered on the calendar on Rec 1. So that was the circumstances in reference to communications, that was a problem that's there in the communication. I think Recreation 1, Quality of Life, and the citizens have to be on the same page, and it's about information. So with that being said, it will only going to allow him to practice until 7 o'clock. But when I read in the information that scheduled 42 practices at Oakshire from the hours of 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So that actually exceeds the 7 o'clock deadline they were given to the coach with Gray. I don't know the circumstances of that. When I was in recreation, quality of life, whether it's Oakshire Gym, whether it's Shrever's Gym, William Street, Boundary Road, they have first choice. I don't know what the circumstances are, how it's been running as of late, but they get first choice at all the facilities. Quality of Life has first choice. So if that communication would have been relayed to this particular football coach, where and Rec 1, I think that would not have been the circumstances that we are involved with today. Also, one more thing, there's 3 different football teams that were involved with this. And because we had some time here, that's why I know a little bit about it. And these people actually been making some complaints to me over the years, but we was trying to do it by the letter of the law and trusting in God. So there's 3 different football teams that were there. Some wanted to practice at Oakshire, others wanted to practice on in Randolph Park. I think the simple thing was the fact that if it cost too much money, they already had a lease agreement. Just allow the kids to practice. Just allow the kids to play ball. Somehow or another, that we can't be so tight on money or restricting the opportunities for anyone in Terrebonne Parish to recreate. And if it's going to cost them just to go down the street to a local park, cost money to go to a local park, that's a little bit too much to ask of our citizens. On one hand, pay a recreation tax and then pay a millage tax on top of that. With that being said, I move that the council create a recreation districts subcommittee, a subcommittee which will report to the Public Service Committee with the following conditions: appointing as its members the council chairperson and 2 additional council members appointed by the council chairperson. The council chairperson shall serve as the subcommittee chair. The vice chair of the subcommittee shall be elected at the first meeting of the subcommittee. The first purpose of the subcommittee is to work with the parish attorney, administration, and the citizens to resolve any issues of scheduling, communication, in order to provide a better service to citizens who utilize the recreation facility. The second purpose of the subcommittee is to work with the parish attorney to mediate, to make inquiries into and investigate complaints made to the council against recreation district members or recreation district boards. And the second purpose of the subcommittee is to work with the parish. That's not reading the same thing. The third one, the purpose of the subcommittee is to review the recommend to the council revisions to the previous adopted recreation manual. Motion.
Different thing. That's it, sir.
That's the motion. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to repeat it all. I'll just say that Councilman Harding makes a motion to create the recreation subcommittee to consist of the council chair and 2 other appointed members. to the subcommittee to review all those things and report back to the council. Do I have a second? All right, so Mr. Wazan seconds, Mr. Pledger.
Just a question for Michelle, I'm sorry. That motion, you work with Mr. Harding on that motion?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Pledger. So we have a motion on the floor with a second. Members, vote your machines. We have 7 yeas, 1 nay. Motion carries. Item 2. Resolution authorizing the parish president to execute the Department of Health Office of Public Health Strategic National Stockpile, SNS, Cities Readiness Initiative, CRI grant for expenses for the planning and processing of the 48-hour mass antibiotic dispensing plan for the Terrebonne Parish Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. Moved by Ms. Chauvin, second by Mr. Babin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Let me give them a minute. They started moving after I was, now that we passed it and it's 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. I'm gonna give just a moment for the citizens to be able to, exit the room. Deputy in the back of the room, can you let Mr. Craig back through?
If he can push his head a little bit further in.
They didn't realize they were locked out on the other door.
They gotta come this way.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. Item 3, resolution authorize the parish president or his designee, the chief administrative officer, to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, Ochsner Clinic Foundation, and Hospital Service District Number 1 of the Parish of Terrebonne, State of Louisiana, for the sponsorship of Shady Oaks Park and for advertising rights therein and for other matters related thereto. Moved by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Champagne. Seeing no discussion, members vote your machines. Six yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 4, resolution ratifying the appointment of Red Stick Power LLC to provide professional engineering services for the relocation of electric poles and services. Project known as South Hollywood Road Roundabout Utility Relocate, project number 25-ELECDIST-41. Moved by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Harding. Seeing no discussion.
No, Mr. Hamner.
Hamner.
They look alike.
Yeah, they look like twins. At least I didn't call him Chauvin. Members vote your machines. Six yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 5, resolution providing for the acceptance of work performed by Norris and Boudreaux Contractors LLC in accordance with the certificate of substantial completion for parish project number 25-GAS-03, Highway 311 to Shade Drive Gas Line Improvements, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Moved by Mr. Hamner, seconded by Mr. Babin. Seeing no discussion, members vote your machines. Six yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 6, resolution authorizing the parish president or administration to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement with the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, DOTD, for mowing and litter pickup along certain state roadways in the parish of Terrebonne. Moved by Ms. Chauvin, seconded by Mr. Hamner. Seeing no discussion, members move your, vote your machines. We move and 6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 7, resolution authorizing the execution of change order number 1 balancing for the construction agreement for the parish project number 20-Road-54 pavement markings project Phase 2, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Move, Mr. Babin, second by Ms. Chauvin. Members, vote your machines. 6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 8, resolution providing the acceptance of work performed by Pavement Markings LLC in accordance with the certificate of substantial completion for parish project number 20-Road-54 pavement markings project Phase 2, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Move, Mr. Babin, second, Ms. Chauvin. Seeing no discussion, members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. It got in. It made it. Item 9, resolution authorizing execution of change order number 1 for the construction agreement for parish project number 24-HVAC-12 HVAC renovations for Robert Bobby Bergeron Government Tower, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Moved by Ms. Chauvin, seconded by Mr. Champagne. Seeing no discussion, members vote your machines. 7 yeas, 1 abstention, motion carries. Item 10, resolution approval of amendment number 1 to the engineering agreement for parish project number 24-POL-37 renovation of Texas Avenue Sewer Lift Station and Go Avenue Sewer Lift Station. Moved by Mr. Champagne, second by Mr. Babin. Seeing no discussion, members vote your machines. 7 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 11, consider the introduction of an ordinance to enact a new article. What's that number? 19. And new section 2-590 under chapter 2 of the Terrebonne Parish Code to provide for a process for citizens to apply for the abandonment of public servitudes, rights of way, and other dedicated properties which are no longer useful or needed for public purposes, and to reserve chapter 2, article 18, sections 2-571 through 2-589, and call a public hearing on Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Moved by Ms. Chauvin, seconded by Mr. Hamner. Seeing no discussion, members vote your machines. And just so y'all all know, doctor has me on a medicine that's preventing something happening. Look, I'll be straight up with everybody. I'm going in Wednesday. I will not be here. I'm gonna let the staff know they can write a letter. I have to get an angiogram, take a look at my stent. Something's happening, so they gave me medicine to slow my heart rate and my blood pressure down. And it's sometimes I don't see straight. So anyway, 7 yeas, 0 nays. Somebody motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, Mr. Hamner, second by Ms. Chauvin. Members vote your machines. You moving your chair over?
Yeah, Mr. Chauvin.
We are adjourned.
Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and/or actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individuals or staff-related matters. All cell phones and electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. I'd like to call the Terrebonne Parish Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order. I'll do the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Heavenly Father, we ask that you come before us this evening and give us wisdom, guidance, knowledge, and understanding where we may be able to serve the people of Terrebonne Parish. Most importantly, Heavenly Father, we ask that you bless this nation, this state, and this great parish of Terrebonne. These and many other blessings we ask in your darling Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Charlie, may we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Trosclair, Mr. Pledger, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity, Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thanks, Ms. Charlie. Item number 1, declaring as surplus Connex containers, communication tower, vehicle, office furniture, generator, and other miscellaneous items from departments Home of Police, City Marshal, Animal Shelter, Home of Fire, and Electric Distribution. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Charles Kevin Champagne. Seeing no lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 8-0. Motion passes. Item number 2, authorizing parish president to execute IGA with state CPRA regarding construction of Rackasee Bay Terrace Phase 2, TE-183, and authorizing execution of CEA with Ducks Unlimited Incorporated for implementation of same. Move, Mr. Danny Babin. Second, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing no lights, members, vote your machine. I'm sorry, Ms. Chauvin.
So I kind of called on, actually, Mr. Mark Black had called me and we discussed this part right here of what it was for. And I'm just wondering, like, we have the Rougarou Fest and they said that they do a lot of different things with their money to this, because I'm kind of wondering, like, where are we pulling money? The 100,000. I mean, and it's a great idea. I think it's a good idea to get it done. But what I'm saying is that if they have money to do these types of things, maybe we could kind of get with Jonathan and ask him about this, and then we can waive those civic fees if they put up the 100,000. You can waive the the bit of money there. Just an observation of funding. Maybe we can free up some money to do something else like roads, because just waiting for my roads. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Ms. Chauvin. Good. All right. Seeing no further lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 3, authorizing parish president to execute an application form to the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, LHSC, for the federal fiscal year 2025-2026 grant for the Houma Police Department of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government and to address other matters relative thereto. Move, Mr. John Amity, second, Mr. Danny Babin, second, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing the lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 4, authorizing the parish president to execute an application form to the Louisiana Commission of Law Enforcement and the Administration of Criminal Justice, fiscal year 2024 Victim of Crime Act, Victims Assistance, VOCA, June 2025, District 8 grant for the Houma Police Department of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government and to address other matters relative thereto. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. John Amity. Seeing no lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 5, authorizing the parish president to execute an application form to the Louisiana Commission of Law Enforcement and the Administration of Criminal Justice 2024 Victim Assistance Grant, VOCA, June 2025, District 7 for fiscal year 2025 through 2026 for the Houma Police Department of Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government and to address other matters relative thereto. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing no lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 6, authorizing the parish president to execute an application form to the Louisiana Commission of Law Enforcement and the Administration of Criminal Justice, fiscal year 2023, Edward Bryan, JAG, FY 2025 through 2026 Task Force Grant for the Houma Police Department of Terrebonne Parish, Consolidated Government, and to address other matters relative thereto. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Danny Batten. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 7, authorize the parish president and/or his designee to execute a subrecipient agreement for funding through Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery, CDBG, DR funds, between Terrebonne Parish School District, TPSD, and Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, TPCG. Move, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Second, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 8, authorizing the filing of an application with the Louisiana Department of Transportation of Development for a grant under any of the following FTA programs managed through Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development: 49 CFR 5311 formula grant for rural areas, 49 CFR 5339 grants for bus and bus facility program. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 9, authorizing the parish president to execute an act of donation between Houma Police Department and Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing the lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 10, to approve payment for a new motor for a 2015 Kenworth T370 mule truck for the Solid Waste Department. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Danny Babbin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 11, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, Terrebonne Council on Aging, $61,000, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move, Mr. Carl Harding. Second, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing the lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 12, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, Section 8 Voucher Program, $22,043, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move, Mr. Carl Harding. Second, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 13, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, keep Louisiana Beautiful, $6,438, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 14, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items: emergency preparedness, $10,435, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Second, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Item number 15, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget and the 2025 5-year capital outlay budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items: Shriver Overpass, $263,960, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move, Mr. Kevin Champagne. Second, Mr. Danny Babbin. Moved by Mr. John Amity, second by Mr. Danny Babbin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. The votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 16, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget and the 2025 5-year capital outlay budget for the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following item: by Terrebonne Pump Station, $10,000, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Move Mr. John Amity, second Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing the lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 17, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following item: Homewood Police Department, $1,160, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Move Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing the lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 18, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget for the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, dedicated emergency fund, $21,414,424. Item number 2, dedicated emergency fund, $1,877,007. Item number 3, dedicated emergency fund, $165,902. And call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Move Ms. Kim Chauvin, second Mr. Danny Babin. Seeing the lights, members vote your machines. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Carl Harding. All right, members vote your machines. Votes 9-0, motion passes. Mr. Harding?
Yes, Ms. Malden, I want to say thank you for actually getting this done, because I think we had an opportunity with all these public hearings to actually divide them. And I appreciate your time and your efforts, even though Mr. Pleasure had to read a little bit more, but then I think I want to commend you for the efforts that you had to get all these public hearings up.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. All right, item number 19. To review the proposed 2026 budget for the following funds, departments, agencies. So, thank you. I'll turn Ms. Candace's light on, and she'll take it from here.
Thank you, sir. So I just wanted to kind of remind you the emails that went out last week, as well as kind of let the public know. We are going to kind of do the budget hearings a little bit different. So we're going to have a presentation with the information on there instead of me sitting here reading it. It was provided to you all last week. So we'll give you the same detail every week before these budget hearings. That way you'll have it and you can ask the questions before or tonight. We have budget hearings on October 13th, which is tonight, October 27th, November 3rd, and then November 17th. And then the following Wednesdays, we have the public hearings. So at any time during these budget hearings or the actual public hearings, the council can make a motion and get a second for an amendment they would want to make based on what is being presented. So we will go through, and we're going to just go through general funds, and it follows the pretty book for the budget that we all refer to most of the time, but all of the information will be on the presentation. Did you have a question, Ms. Babin?
I need your light.
Oh, I hit the wrong. It's been so long since we had a meeting, I forgot. I'm sorry. What you're presenting tonight in each one of these, this is a balanced budget,
Yes, sir.
correct? So as you stated before.
Yes, sir.
Anything that we want to change, which we can, we have to find where we're going to take the money from.
Yes, sir. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, so the motion for any amendment to what we are proposing would have to have an expenditure and a revenue to cover it.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
All right, let's see if this works. There we go. So just real quick, and this is the only one that I'm really going to go into detail about. This is general fund overall. We're proposing revenues for 2026 to be about 23.9 million, which is an increase. Proposed expenditures is 18.2 million. Proposed transfers in is 6 million. Proposed transfers out is 10.2, and our proposed ending balance is 5.3 million. So if any of y'all have been with me when we have discussed budgets, that proposed ending balance fund balance is something that we strive for to keep up. That is where we want to have about a month and a half of expenditures sitting there as a savings. So if something would happen, that would help us cover what we need to do. When we're talking about transfers in, this is some other funds that help cover some stuff in general fund. It could be some projects that are closed and that's getting transferred back into general fund. And the transfer out is to other funds and departments that their restricted revenue source does not cover their expenditures. And the only fund that can help to cover those expenditures is general fund, because it's the only fund that we have that can be used for anything that the government needs. It's not restricted. So just to point all of those out, you'll hear those transfers in and out when we go through all of those separate funds and departments. So our first department tonight is Parish Council. So again, this is what was presented to y'all last week. I will ask if y'all have any questions.
Anybody? I have one,
Yes,
maybe.
sir.
I sent an email out, it was to the ladder this afternoon when I sent that out. And I know this will be open for the next month and a half or so, plus based on the conversation I had with parish president, some things need to be addressed there when it comes to the parish budget. I was able to drill down on, the meeting that was called by you guys with myself, Ms. Chauvin, or the council chair and vice chair and myself in regards to, the request for the additional funding for the parish council, by way of the, Cardex cabinet, whatever you want to call it, and also other requested increases that we feels necessary for us to be functional effectively in the year 2026. So with that, I'll just let you guys review that email so you can take a look at it, and then we'll make adjustments as do necessary.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
Next would be the council clerk's department. It would probably, what we're referring to, Mr. Pledger, would probably fall within the council clerk instead of the council office. Next is our official fees and publications. This is just kind of where we pay our membership dues. This is where we have all of our independent audit fees, any of the publishments that have to happen, all of the ordinances, all of the meeting minutes and notices goes in here too. City court. And then we have district court. District attorney's office. Clerk of court's office.
Just a question, the public can see this, right? They're
Yes,
looking
sir.
at
They
this?
should be able to
Okay,
see it because
right,
it's all
just
live
making
stream.
sure.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep. That was another reason why we did it this way. So that way it's not just me
Easy enough.
reading.
Mr. Trustclair?
Yes, thank you. I did get an email earlier, and I talked to Miss Tammy about it. Someone said me that the video was showing us upside down, so.
Oh, it's
I
fixed
don't know
now,
if
Miss
it got
Tammy's
corrected
saying.
or not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Steve.
Medicine.
Decreasing balance.
No, that's what it was. All right, ward court. So this is where justice of the peace and the constables are paid out of. That's usually a question. Judicial other, this is where we pay our court warrants for any jury duties and all of that. This would be the parish president's budget.
I have one question there, Candace.
Yes, sir.
On that, I guess I'm kind of confused because we have a reference to the ordinance 8528, which is pretty, self-explanatory there. But outside of that, when it says personnel, we have 4 budgeted positions, but 5 are listed in the directory. What do we got there? What did I miss?
When you're talking about 5 are listed in the directory, which directory are you
If I
referring
go to the parish administration, it'll have 5 positions
Okay.
listed versus, I'm looking at
If you were going to
4
be
in the
making a
book.
phone call, the number. So there is one employee who is housed in administration, and her salary is paid by IT maybe another, and maybe parish president. So she's not housed in this department, but partially paid for out of this department. But her office is in 7th floor. So that's why the directory shows her under this one.
That makes no sense. You said she's not housed in this department, but
I meant
she's.
she's not paid out fully out of this department. So when I said housed, her position is not housed
Gotcha,
in here, but
gotcha,
her
gotcha.
location is housed there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, now, and also just for clarity on that, when it says, no operating capital, right? Well, let me go back a little bit here. If we look at the line items, just so everyone's not confused and they understand, we have I would say the second bulleted item there, with its total operating expenditures before allocation and capital outlay is 838, a decrease of 94,255, correct? And if you move down the next two bulleted items, it says that other contracts and leases, there's a decrease of 81,728, no longer using the federal lobbyists, I'm assuming here, and also travel and training decrease of 10,000. Well, to me, that's really one and the same. If you're saying we're saving, and there's a $3,000 gap there somehow. I don't know where that's at. I didn't see that part of it. But really, in essence, total proposed expenditure 91,000. How are we getting that number? Where's that coming from?
So your total proposed expenditure of the 91,000, we have what we refer to as allocated expenses. So those allocated expenses are what other departments throughout parish government pay for parish president. We have indirect allocated expenses for parish president, the accounting department, the council department, and a couple other ones that we do work for all of the several departments throughout the parish. So those allocations are coming back into the parish president's department here. You'll see them in accounting when we get to those as well. So that's where that proposed expenditure is in 91,000, because it takes into account those allocations. But that is not the actual operating expenditures of the parish president's department, which is that 838,000. So if you were looking at the detailed budget, you would see 91,000, and then if I'd come to you and say, hey, there's 838,000, it wouldn't make much sense. So that's what the difference between those two are. And the way that we calculate those allocations for budget purposes is we take the prior year actual amount, because we don't know what it's going to be, because it's based on total expenditures and other activity. So we just adjust accordingly.
Okay, all right, and just so I can get a full grasp, because I did ask before, and you sent me information regarding I know we did a couple years ago, we did the $60,000 discretionary where the parish president doesn't have to come to the council for that. Can we somehow, I know it's a pretty heavy lift, but at some point, can we get that broken out so we can actually see where we're at? So we might want to, might have to increase that, or maybe have to scale that back a little bit if we're not really using it. And all that's just to save the taxpayer some dollars, of course. And I'd rather us do it in-house based on section 209 versus, 209 in the home rule charter. Let's do that in-house if we can, to try to get that taken care of. Just to give an idea, we can send it to all the council members just so they'll know, and they'll have an idea where that's at in case we need to help out a little bit more from where we sit. So, Mr. Babin?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hold, wait. It ain't working.
There we go. Okay, thank you. You know, it's, and I should have asked this question before or called, no longer working with federal lobbyists, okay? Can you give us a breakdown on, I know it's very important for us to work with lobbyists, but I mean, we do have representatives that represent on the state level, on the federal level. Just give me a little breakdown on what we're gonna be stopping here. What are we changing to get to that point? I know it's just not about dollars.
Well, I mean, at the end of it is actually about dollars. So we were working Van Ness. We can't afford that. We were cutting costs across the board. That was an area that we felt like we had to make a reduction in, and that's what we did.
Good. I have no problem with that. I just wanted that explanation put out there. It is a cost saving measure. We're cutting everywhere across the board. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Babin. Ken?
All right, moving on to communications department. Did I forget one? Upside down. Next one is our Register of Voters Department.
Yeah, I make a motion, DBA go back, but sometimes jump pretty quick.
Okay. I don't know that I mean, we can just go back. It's not, it's just a review. I can go back anytime you need. Just yell at me if you have a question.
It's all on the same item number.
So that increase, Ms. Kim, is probably significantly related to group insurance. So a lot of these departments, I didn't put small numbers of increases because we would be here all day. But everybody does have an increase in the group insurance that they're paying for their employees. So if there's a small increase like that, it is either our group insurance or our regular, any other type of premium insurance that the parish pays and the department pays. Anything else? All right, our registrar of vote.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Trustclair, I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going through the financials in the books. In this department, there was a significant amount of, it looks like pay raises to some of the people in this department.
Not in this department. There was 3 people in this department.
They got pay raises,
No, sir.
no? Oh, not this department, there's only 3 people in this
There's only
department?
3 in this department.
Okay, well, I'm in the wrong
And they're
department.
not,
Okay,
it's the same number. It's actually
thanks.
about a little less.
thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, register of voters now. Any questions? Our elections.
Get a notice that it's still upside down. People can't see your presentation.
So, Ms. Tammy, we just got notices that they cannot see our presentation and we are still upside down. So we'll pause for a minute and we can put this, I'm sure, on our website.
Are they hearing us?
Yes.
If they're hearing us, we can just kind of keep going with the R. Who's in charge? Working together, is that the person right here? Or normally the person right here? I'd like to make a suggestion, I mean, going forward, we had a guy back here. Yeah, we gotta get somebody back there going forward, but, okay. So I'll explain to the public that, it seemed like we're having some technical difficulties when it's coming to the, presentation that's being shown. So with that being said, we'll just, keep going as such, and we'll make a point, or make it a point to put it on our website so that you can, go back and reference that. And hopefully, next meeting, we'll have that under control and we'll be able to, let you guys see that via live stream as we are doing now. So, Ms. Candace?
Yes, sir. So our next department will be the accounting department. No questions. We'll go into our bill paying and, yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Hamner, there you go, thank you.
Yeah. Are these decreases net decreases after certain line items were adjusted, or are they a decrease based on last year's total?
They are a decrease based on the 2025's current budget. So if we've done any budget amendments or line item adjustments, we're comparing it to those numbers.
Okay. That's what I went to.
Gotcha. Okay.
So in other words, saying not line item, so if we're seeing 0.55 increase, that increase, or it was a negative and we're cutting back, that means you're looking at the big picture, not individuals. The cost
So-
of that particular department.
So when we're like this, for instance, when we're talking about total operating expenditures before allocations and capital outlay, that 976,916 was a decrease of 74,000. That 74,000 is the total decrease for accounting
Okay.
before allocations and capital outlay. When we go to the next line where I'm talking about office supplies decrease of 12,000, that is that specific line item. That is a decrease.
Mhm. And generally, what I look at is the 7.12.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right, okay.
Does your presentation depict line item increases and decreases, the major ones?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I try when I put this together, so it's a $74,000 decrease. So I tried to come up with what made up that 74,000. So we had 12,000 in office supplies, 2,800 in equipment services, and then personnel services. I had 56,000. So I tried to get the big ticket items that explained that total of that decrease.
and if there's a significant increase
It
in
would
the
be in
line
there
item,
too,
you would
'cause it would
put
be the
that
net.
on there too?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. If it was a big increase and then a decrease to come up with a net number, then it would be in there too.
Okay.
And it would show it as an increase. Yeah, so you would see the large items, the large changes.
Thanks, Mr. Hamner. Candace?
All right, so bill paying and licensing. And I do want to note that any of these positions that are being eliminated, they are vacant positions, so it's not eliminating somebody that has a current position. It's all vacant. Legal services.
I have a question there. Second bulleted item, legal services, legal assistance to low-income persons. I know we increased this from last year to $40,000, and that's by way of South Louisiana Legal Services, same as 2025. Can we get a list of whom we were able to help and benefit with that, with that?
Yes, sir. I'll get them to provide us something.
Thank you. Ms. Chauvin?
Candace, would they have cost per each? Would they have the cost per each?
They should. I'll get what they have.
All right, thanks.
I might have that in what they send us too, so I'll get you what we have.
Do we traditionally use up that fund?
Yes, sir.
If I'm not
It's
mistaken,
usually within a couple of $1,000s.
yeah, I think right now we're at like 3,000 or somewhere there. That's left for the year. Yeah. Candace?
Okay.
Mr. Harding, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and just, Mr. Champagne, I think we increased it by a motion with Mr. Amity by 10,000. Now, this would be an opportunity if we are actually wanting to make an increase, probably somewhere down the line, that can be a consideration, like Ms. Malden actually said, if we need an increase. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. And I just actually have it up right here. So in 2024, the actual number was $36,894. We're projecting to come out to about that amount for this year as well. Next is our planning department. Then is our government buildings.
On our planning department, yeah, it's planning and, yeah, that's account 193, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me give you that right there. Got a couple questions there. I'm gonna pass this out to these guys here. You can each take one of each. A question there on that. I think I'm just use it for a second. Now, on the planning department, can we explain, and I'm gonna go through it. Total proposed expenditures, 1,768,357, a decrease of 217. 10% decrease. Consultant fees decrease of 106,000. No allocations. Personnel, eliminate one court enforcement inspector, grade 107, excuse me. Vacant position, no other changes. Total decrease is 69,063. Well, I'll reference everyone that has the big black book. If we can go to page 30, you too as well, Candace, and please explain to me how I find there's a little bit of some increases there with salaries to the tune of $33,081.
Yes, sir, there is. Because of the other changes that were done within the department, so as a whole, that whole department has a decrease of 217,000, even with allowing some of those individuals within that department to have some raises. So we approached each department and asked them, this is your total number that you have available for your budget, and we want you to fit it in this dollar amount. And I think Chris could allude to a couple of more of those decisions that his department made, but that is where that came from.
Okay, I get it totally. But that's the thing. I'd like to see, it would better serve myself to understand and to make sure I understand a lot better if that was on here as such, okay? Because what I'm saying is it's great that we're having all these decreases, but we failed to show the increases there salary wise. And I'm
But
just gonna,
overall, the personnel services did decrease by the 69,000.
but
If you
okay.
take the 1.4 and compare it to the 1.5 million.
Yeah, I don't want to look at the bigger number. I want to look at what I'm seeing. If there's, 11 employees that are getting increases, period, bottom line. That's just what I want to make sure that I understand. There's 1,000 more out there. And we don't have, where do we get the money for that? Like, we have to find the money to be
And
able
that's
to.
exactly what happened, Mr. Pledger, in this department. They have a total decrease of 217,000, even with those increases. So they're not costing us anymore. They found within their budget how they can work it all in total for this to be what the case is. The total expenditures are 1.7 million compared to the prior year where there's still a decrease.
Okay, I mean, I get it totally, but like I said, there again, I want all of our folks to make sure that, I'm gonna use, I hate to do this and put him on the spot, but I'm gonna use Mr. Clayton Voisin's statement. It's the optics, the way it looks to me. And I'm pretty sure, I'll yield and let Mr. Steve Trosclair go ahead.
Yes, thank you. It's, it says not cost us anything, but yeah, technically it is, because if we have that savings, that money could revert back into the general fund. It could be used for roads and bridges and whatever if we need
So-
to use it. It doesn't have to necessarily stay in this
The
department.
$217,000, even with the increase, is what's being closed out to fund balance and will be available if we can continue to build up that fund balance. So that's decrease right there is the savings, even with those increases to
I
those.
understand that. I understand totally, but echo on Mr. Pledger, we are giving raises to some employees and not all employees. And the reason we give to all employees because we don't have the money to do it. So it's not, I mean, maybe the other 999, 9,999 employees maybe want to transfer into planning and zoning. That way they get a raise too. I mean, just that money doesn't have to stay here. Just like eliminating all these positions. If ever we gotta have a need, may have a need for one of these positions, even though they're vacant now, we eliminate it. What that's doing is freeing up money.
So
It's undedicating some money. So it's the same thing.
So another reason why these increases are done, because those positions are eliminated, other people are taking on additional job duties. So if they're taking on additional job duties, they deserve to get part of the increase in their pay.
Okay.
Want to manage the lights. Mr. Trosclair, you're good?
I'm done.
All right, Mr. Bazeron.
Yeah, so as we've been talking about how we manage our money better in our departments, we challenge all the departments to say, if you feel like your people deserve to make more money, you need to figure out a way to get it done. And that's what our directors have done. You're gonna see that continually throughout this budget, where they said, I decided to do increases in departments where they're already tremendously underpaid instead of buying a vehicle or instead of doing some other things. And so in a situation where we asked our departments to come in with the same budget or a decreased budget in every situation, they found a lot of ways to get people to make more money. But I guess you want to understand is if you're saying we can't give a raise to one, we shouldn't give a raise to any. I think that'd be a very hard way to keep our people here. So I love the opportunity that through all the roundtables I've had with all of our departments, pay is a consistent conversation of what needs to be increased. And we're finally giving our directors the opportunity to do that within their own budget.
Mr. sorry, Mr. Harding, I'm sorry.
The optics. I'm looking at it this way. It's a person getting a raise. I want everyone out there to get a raise. I look at whether if we're in a winter storm and we have a guy that's in a hole and it's 25 degrees out there and government is shut down, I'm looking at that guy. Now, the question I have here is that if this would have been a one-time thing, but then these people that are going to get a raise, that raise is going to be consistent for their term here at consolidated government. So the savings that you may have now may be a deficit later on down the line because we are actually strapped for money. So we're going to just actually put it back in the general fund or wherever we're going to put it at. Everybody just maintain and bunker down and put that money where it can use for services. And that's the optics that I'm looking at because it doesn't actually present me, in my personal opinion, it doesn't represent to that guy that's out there in 20-degree weather that's actually making sure our sewage and everything is actually working properly. When and in a situation like that, somebody might be sitting at home getting paid for emergency pay. So I'm looking at that. That's an increase, and that's not just for this year. That's going to be going on for the rest of the terms of those people that be working for Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government. Thank you.
So, Mr. Harding, a couple of things to address there. If an employee is sitting at home, they are not getting paid emergency pay. They do get an emergency benefit, but they are not getting paid extra money to sit home. So just want to make sure that's clear. And this is a one-time increase, and the whole purpose of this is it stays within those numbers. So they're not getting this every year. It's a one-time increase. They will stay at that rate for their remainder at the parish, but it's not a continuous increase every year.
Open the door.
Dennis, wake up. Mr. Hamner, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that philosophy of giving the raises in a department, if they can eliminate it from their, somewhere in their budget, that they can get it back in a raise. I disagree with that philosophy. If we can't give a cost of living raise across the board to everybody, including the department heads and the people in these individual departments, I don't think we should be giving individual raises to select groups because they have it in their budget and they were able to move it from one place to the other. It's a philosophy. I respect your philosophy about the way you're doing it, but I disagree with that. I think the total budget, it goes back to the total. If they could cut in a department, then that money could be in salaries, and that money should be used to spread out across the board to all. All should get that raise. Even if it's just a simple 2% cost of living adjustment. And I have no idea how much these raises are, but after hearing you speak about them, it's. I want to throw that out there. I disagree with that philosophy.
Thank you, Mr. Hamner. Mr. Trosclair?
Yes, one more question. In these raids, was nine employees?
It's 11 employees.
11. Out of those 11, how many of them are the lowest level in the,
As far as grade, you mean?
how many of them are getting raises that are in the lowest pay level?
1 second. So there's more than 11.
Well, we're just talking the planning.
Planning and
account
zoning, there's
193,
16 employees within the planning and zoning department.
right.
Um,
And 5 positions were decreased, $9,473, net decrease of 54. But the 11 specifically that I looked at, what you guys have there, increases were permitted for 11, and the other 5, it was a decrease of about $9,000.
oh, I know why.
See, okay, yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was like, there shouldn't be any. So it was, I think there are some open positions or some positions that we knew were retiring. So those are decreased only because when they come in, it'll be at that minimum pay for that pay grade. So it's the person itself is not getting a decrease. It's that position because it's an open position. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 of those positions that are grade 109 or lower, Mr. Trustclair.
Thank you, Mr. Trosclair. Mr. Harding?
Are we reading from the same line or this little thing right here with a $10,916 dollar raise, or $3,300,
I
$39?
don't know what you're looking at,
That's,
sir.
Mr. Harding, that's in the black book.
Okay.
On page 30, what I referenced, and that's the information that I have put on the
Those
spreadsheet
are
for
raises?
you.
And that
Those are
amount?
raises, yeah.
Okay then, all right, thank you.
In the back of the book.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The
yeah.
budgeted positions.
The detailed book is what I want to see, yeah, so, okay. And again, I'm not opposed to doing that for our employees, it's just, I want it to be representative on here too as well, so we can see that.
Yes, sir.
So it's all transparent, and that's why I allude back to section 209 of the home rule charter. We want to make sure that it's all done in-house so we can see it, it's clear, so we don't have to look elsewhere for any questions or answers or anything like that. But that's where we're at. I have no more on this specific one.
All right. Next we have,
Oh, yeah.
our government buildings. The insurance is, the increase.
Totally.
We canceled 36,000 in phone lines in the elevator. Next is our code violation and compliance department. So this one you will see, I just want to point this out. You are going to see a decrease in the demolition and the grass cutting and the condemnations. And the whole reason of that is because we, in November, will be coming back to you guys with a budget amendment for program income of, is it 2 million? For 2 million for those projects. And that's going to carry over into next year and hopefully get us to where we need. So there is a decrease in this 26 budget on those line items because we know that we're about to get this 2 million that we're going to be able to come back to you and start those programs.
When we say program income, can you give me examples so I understand?
So it is an old hurricane recovery. And if I get this wrong, Kelly will come up and tell us what happened. And there is some program income that the state is allowing us to draw down on. And it has lost its recovery classification. So that's why it'll allow us to do it for these condemnations and grass cuttings and stuff.
So it sounds like money was left on the table from other
Areas, yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
So in our benefit, so we get
Yeah,
it, we can
course.
use it for how we need to. This is one too that we would probably come up later on in a department that we will be able to do the after-school programs with Ms. Diane Collins, is using the program income for that as well.
Okay.
So we're gonna come to you guys, I think November 1st is when we should have access to the money, and we'll be able to show y'all where we're gonna put that in the budget.
Great, all right.
Janitorial services.
Well, I have one more
sir.
on the planning code enforcement. That's the other spreadsheet. There we are again. We're able to save money in that department, and we have like $16,000 in increases for seven positions in that department too as well. So just want to put it out there. Just want to make sure that we're all clear. It's the optics of what, what it looks like. And I'm gonna lean on the err on the side of caution, but at the same time, I'm gonna suggest, I know if these directors are hearing the same thing out there, I'd challenge them again to see if they can save some money for their folks. But Mr. Hamner, go ahead.
I wanted to back up that you had mentioned you were gonna get 2 million. Am I, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You had mentioned you're gonna get 2 million, and that's coming from where, and it's gonna be for what?
So I don't know all of the detail, but it's not just 2 million, it's about 10 million. I'm gonna let Kelly come up and explain that a little bit better. Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, no problem. Kelly Varnado, Housing and Human Services Director. It's actually 8 million. The Office of Community Development is closing out their Gustav Ike disaster grant. Typically, when they close out a grant, they will send the money back to HUD. They have been given the opportunity to give the money to a community. And since we are a CDBG entitlement community, the money is coming to us. It will be added to our CDBG grant.
And we can use it for what, Kelly?
Anything that you can use CDBG funds for. So you can, the only thing you really can't use it for is housing. But it can be used for infrastructure, drainage, demolition.
It can be used for drainage and demolition and grass cutting?
No, sir.
No grass
You
cutting.
you cannot perform maintenance.
No
with this
maintenance.
money.
But demolition, like condemnations?
Yes, sir.
And, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Hamner.
Ready to move on?
Yep, I'm good.
Next is our janitorial services. Next is our general other. Next is the coroner's office.
Mr. Hamner?
So the coroner, did they submit some cuts, or are they, I see you left it exactly the same.
So all that we do for the coroner's office is we supplement them and we keep it the same, and they're able to adjust their budget internally using the funding that they have coming in and what we are supplementing them for.
So that's a supplement, that $805,626?
Yes, sir.
Do they have an opportunity? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. You're still on.
In the back of the pretty book, there is a detailed budget for the coroner's office.
Okay, so, good. Explain our obligation, as far as the supplement to the coroner. Are we,
So, unfortunately, Mr. Hamner, the coroner's probably not one of the ones that I'm very familiar with what we are required to supplement them on, but we can definitely get back to you on that.
okay, that's fair enough.
That is one that I'm not very sure of what those
Me
state law
neither, so-
requirements are.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Candace.
Thank you, Mr. Hamner. Does the coroner have an opportunity to generate funds?
Yes, sir. There are some fees related to the coroner's office. There's some fees for outside autopsies, outside assessments, and all of that through there. I think they receive some funding from some citations as well, but that's where most of their revenue is coming from.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, next is our engineering department. God bless you.
Bless you.
sorry, Clyde.
So in engineering, we're adding staff? Is that what I'm reading there? Add one staff engineer, add one office manager?
So it is changing the titles for some current employees. It's putting them into the level of where their job duties are fitting into it. There is an increase, but there is also some of the other public works departments, road and bridge, sewage, that pays for some of these salaries through some allocations
Okay,
as
so
well.
when we change their title, I'm assuming it's a promotional change, and with that, it's gonna go an increase in salary?
If it's needed, yes, sir. Some of them are already in that salary range for that pay grade, and that's not necessarily what's happening. It's just a matter of putting them in the grade that they're in.
Okay, but those that aren't already at that pay grade are gonna get an increase?
If their pay is not currently within that pay grade, yes, sir. Because it could be that they're getting paid already within that range for that grade. It's not an automatic increase in pay.
Okay.
Mr. Harding?
Yeah, to basically go along with the question Mr. Hamner asked, is eliminate those two positions, but then we're looking at those numbers over there, grade 211, grade 209, grade 109, and grade 107. So you're saying an increase of $72,000, and we have an engineering fee decrease. What does it actually equate at the increase and the decrease? Again, I'm trying to look for that.
A net decrease of $12,843.
12, okay, that's where I see it, 1.68. I was looking for it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but then that was only to, not saying I'm explaining anything to Mr. Hamner, and that's what I pay attention to, because I really don't know these grades like 211, 209, 109, 107. And then each one of these levels that we actually have, do we actually promote to the lowest level? If we go from 109 to 209, are we going mid-range at the beginning or the highest?
Beginning.
Beginning, every time we make an increase like that? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Hart? Okay. Mr. Trustclair, you good? You good? All right, Candace.
All right, next. Why? Our parish VA service department. This is the exact same. Health and welfare, other. So this is where we have our Veterans Homeless Shelter, our American Legion operating, and this is again the same as 2025. Our animal control. Next is the museum. And this number, that 50,000, the contract for South Louisiana Wetlands Discovery, it just changed to, it's like 42,500 for 2026. 151,560 is the department number. In the pretty book, it is going to be starting on page 111.
So what is the contract with South Louisiana
So that
Wetland?
that is the contract that we have with South Louisiana Wetlands Discovery, that they maintain, they operate the museum, and they go out because they are a nonprofit. They have access to more grants that they can go to get in order to upgrade all of the exhibits at the museum. And in place of that, they pay for their employees to run the museum, and they have an office space. Yes, sir, they're employees.
That's it. I'm good.
Employees or employee?
They have some employees as well that they utilize to run the museum. We have one employee that is paid out of this fund.
Okay, so they actually pay other people that work for the people that house, that
Yes.
are housed there, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the publicity account.
Mr. Harding?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, that's a 60% decrease, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of money saved. And we also have the co-sponsorships and various events as a decrease of $10,000. But it increased parish publicity from $65,000 to $65,000, which is an increase of $15,000. Are we actually the co-sponsorships that was transferred over? How much is the co-sponsorships in the pretty book on page 113 publicity? So how much are we actually allowing for co-sponsorships? Is it still the $600?
Yes, sir. It's still the $600.
Okay. So we got it's a decrease of $10,000. So we have $15,000 worth of $600 to give away this year. Then. So we're gonna give away less co-sponsorships.
In 2026, yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Trosclair?
I'll say stem along, but my question was basically, you just answered it, Carly. So where we at right this year, we gonna actually cut back on the amount of co-sponsorships that we do?
So
Or are we still under the 15,000?
you're still under the 15,000.
So we're really not gonna be cutting?
It's really not going to cut anything, no, sir.
That was my question.
No,
Thank you.
sir.
Mr. Hamner?
So basically, the first 25 people who qualify or groups that qualify will get the co-sponsorship, and after that, it's done? Is that how it works?
Yes, sir.
Because
If we would get
600
up to all, if we would get up to the,
25.
yeah, but not all of them use the full $600. Some of them use more than the $600, and we bill them for what they use. We have never gone over the co-sponsorship budget in the 10 years I've been here, and never gone over the 15,000 that's allowed here. That's So.
Thank you.
Moving on to our economic development other.
That's a question there, Candace. I see we have South Central Planning there for various costs, regional membership, a decrease of $2,000, 70,000 local match for urban system grant administration. That's the same as 2025. And me seeing that South Central Planning, I know we came into an agreement recently with South Central Planning on as far as the condemnations, things like that. That's paid out of where?
That is paid, so the condemnations is paid out of the code violation and compliance department, 151, 195.
Okay, we were able to balance it still, even though that was an added expense this year, and they were still able to do the raises there too. All right, just checking.
Yes, sir. All right, Housing and Human Services.
Danny Babin.
The elderly millage. We're talking, is that the Council on Aging millage?
It's the elderly millage that is the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government millage that we supplement the Council on Aging with. Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
I don't, yes. I've said it in my sleep many a times. And then our marina. You have a question on the marina, Mr. Harding? Yeah, it starts on page 119.
Yeah, and that was another, shopping, decrease that I saw. That was kind of high.
So this one department runs a little bit different than most of the other ones because not the only time, they receive a lot of the state, the HDDC money that comes in from the state hotel and motel tax. And we don't actually budget that until we know that we have the money coming in because it's not a very consistent number. So what you're comparing here from 2026 to the current 2025 budget, the 2026 doesn't have anything new that's coming in. We won't do that until next year when we get it. So that's why it's a big decrease there because you have some money that's coming from the state for that department.
Yeah, and I also looked at culture enrichment administrative, grade 211, ranging from 65,000, 66,000 to the maximum of 102.7. But also when we were back over here with the Terrebonne Parish Waterlight Museum, I noticed that the culture enrichment administrative was in that routing area under the culture enrichment division. Is that person being paid there?
No, sir. That person is being paid out of this department. It's just that the individual that is paid out of the museum reports to that person. So that's why you saw this enrichment position in the organizational chart. All right. I think this would be the last one for tonight. Our emergency preparedness.
Mr. Danny Babin.
If we get a property insurance decrease, I think that's wonderful.
So it is. There was some changes that we made to the values of some of our buildings because of how they were built. They weren't really accounted for correctly in the policy. So you will see some departments saw a decrease, but a lot of our departments saw an increase.
Yeah, no, that's a rarity. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And that is all that I have for you tonight.
Okay. Well, I can't say, Ms. Candace, thanks for thus far for all your work and putting all this together. Only takeaway that I have from it is, excuse me, guys. Only thing I take away from this tonight is I'll encourage my colleagues to really look into this because, you got to open these books to at least know what's going on, and you'd be doing the constituents a disservice if you didn't do so, and have questions and comments to what's going on with the funds for the folks here in Terrebonne Parish. But outside of that, I'd just like to make sure that we don't lose sight of the two requests that I requested, the list of beneficiaries for the legal assistance program and also the 60,000 discretionary spending, just broken out, simple, easy, so everybody can understand it, just to promote the transparency. So with that being said, I'll entertain a motion. Motion
Wednesday, you'll continue.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Steve Chose-Claire, second by Ms. Kim Chauvin. Members, votes, machines.
It'll be Wednesday, the public hearing. You have to accept.